good day, viewers, and welcome to the wrap-up show. I am joined by Jesse Jackson Kauraisa here in studio. We are reporting, as you can see, our beautiful views of the Independence Stadium here in the capital city. Jesse Jackson, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Brian Munango. Thank you so much for that introduction. Nothing makes a man happier than being at a sports facility where we have seen an incredible event. But please take us through the rest.
Okay, well, Jesse, thanks for that. You know, we had a very eventful weekend. We had a lot going on, from athletics to rugby to soccer to boxing. I mean, all sorts of sports that NTV has got you covered on. But with all being said, let's take a look at the hit list. Well, with that, we start off with our international sports results as we take a look at what happened in the Currie Cup. Well, on Friday, as you can see there, Toyota Cheetahs just edging it out against Nova Fit Griffons, winning that game strongly there. A bit surprised with the Erling Pumas as they lose against Fidelity ADT Lions 26-10. I mean, those are the defending champions, so it's a bit concerning to see them lose like that. Well, with that, Jesse, quickly do us a favor. Run us through a few of the Namibian sports results that we had this weekend.
Yes, and that is from the Namibian sports results. We did have indeed some fantastic results today, and we just wait for them to get through there. And one of the matches that was played is Tura Magic that played against Ramblers, and we do have some videos for you there as well.
But in the second half, we tried our best to make a comeback and obviously win the game 3-2.
That's right. So Ramblers took a 1-0 lead at halftime. So just tell us about that second half and how you managed to make such a strong comeback.
All right. In our team, we always believe that we are very resilient. Despite all the fact that we were 1-0 behind, we never gave up. We made sure we gave our all until the last whistle.
Right, Louisa, and I think you guys are now on top of the log. But how do you see this league title going?
It's going to be a very tough journey for us, and we are going to work extremely hard, extra hard, to try and gain this title.
That was the Tura Magic team, as well as playing against a Ramblers FC video there. And now let us look at the latest on the weekend drop. We all know that there is a boxer by the name of Zakaria Desert Storm Lucas, a former African champion, a man that also stayed a couple of years in the USA trying to pursue his boxing career. He is back and fighting under AC Ims Moses, and this time around he didn't fight here in Namibia but outside the country, and we do have some footage from that.
I'm here with Lucas Zakaria. He just fought last night against Issa Fidi. Lucas, you had a very quite competitive fight. So what was your game plan for last night?
No, thanks everybody. My game plan for last night was to get a win no matter what. Just to push hard and get a win.
We have seen you drop Issa Firi twice. You drop him in round 4 and you drop him in round 5, and he never gave up. That means he was a very competitive opponent?
Of course, yes. Not everybody comes to survive. Everybody came to fight, and I respect your men that step in the ring, whether it's on the opposite corner, it's opponent, but at the end of the day, you must respect everybody who come in the ring, and like Fidi last night, he came in fight also.
What is your game plan, your way forward after this win that you said you really wanted to get on your record after your fight in the United States when you fought Raymond Ford?
Right now, I just have to go back to the gym, talk to my team, Ims Moses, and Sean Gibson for Manny Pacquiao promotions.
Well, beautiful interview there. Well, as we all know, the Tourism Expo took place in Windhoek last week. Beautiful full event where we had Johan Muller, who was at the Tourism Expo, just to speak more about cricket, about the World Cup, stuff like that. Well, stay tuned for his presentation.
So there's a very direct correlation between how sport can impact the awareness of your country, but also the economic cycle of your country. The next one is quite important, and that's mega events. So mega events is World Cups. In football term, it's a World Cup. In Olympic terms, in athletic terms, it's Olympic Games. Those are mega events that contribute to the hosting country, not just from an awareness composure, but also from a direct economic impact. At this stage, we will host the 2026 Under-19 Men's World Cup and the 2027 Senior Men's World Cup. The Senior Men's World Cup economic impact is worked out that we should be, if you use 2019 figures before COVID, should attract $26 million into the country through direct economic impact. What that means is that just through that tournament of booking hotels, local transport, local suppliers, it has got nothing to do with people who then spend another couple of days in Namibia touring through the beautiful country. It's got nothing to do with the people that has seen that event on TV on the 220 countries and 26 broadcasters that will book their holiday to Namibia in the next 2 years after the event, because they got triggered through the awareness, and the interest in the country grows because of that mega event.
You know, I'm in the media business, and our job is to share information, and we're very proud of what we're doing as an organization. But when I met Johan, and more than a year ago, the idea that we had to look at cricket from a development perspective and all the effort that it takes to make sure that everybody understands cricket and that we can all learn to play cricket, and I think they do a brilliant job in getting that, was always my understanding of what does a sport code do for the country. And all of a sudden, there's a whole new dimension to this, and this is that this sport code, I wish we could say that for all our sport codes, but even those that sometimes find it more difficult, they do it as well. What can they do to promote this country? And it was just mind-boggling what cricket is doing. And not just marketing something to a place where everybody's already marketing, but to a market that no one is marketing to. So I challenge any of you, how many of you are marketing towards the eastern part, Middle East Asia? We're not. And yet this is a simple way of doing it. You don't even have to tell it, you just have to show it. And when Johan started discussing that, it was like an eye-opener to me. So when we sat down this concept of Beyond Borders, there were three things that triggered me to have this theme, and one of them was what Cricket Namibia was doing. So Johan, thank you so much for letting me see a world that I didn't understand it, but I didn't realize how powerful it was. And it's really powerful, that 1.3 billion. It's really powerful what Cricket Namibia is doing. So thank you for your hard work, Johan. So for my 5 seconds, just to give you something back, can you just put up the slide, please? So these are the games that are being played. I know they're on all sorts of platforms, but they're on our network television as well. So please watch these games. Our girls play very good cricket as well. So those are the times that they are playing. So our next game that we watch on Sunday, and then Monday, and then the finals on the 2nd of June. So even better, go and watch them.
Time around. And I just want to find out how many of the tourism students have reached out to the Johan of this country, saying that we understand you've got a cricket teams coming in Namibia. Can I volunteer to meet them at the airport? Just greet them. I met students, welcome to Namibia. Has anybody? Again, that is where you start your intern in front office. It's not only at the hotel, it can be at the airport. You don't need to be an immigration officer to do that. You just need to volunteer. There is a group of workshops coming in, people coming from other country. Have you ever reached out to that organizer and volunteered to be the face of Namibia when that group arrives? How many teams do we have here that came in the country?
Plus us?
3+. And those are more than 16, 17 per group?
Correct.
And those, you had a potential to meet all those 16 people from different countries. Maybe they will even get interested as far as getting your business card. You write your name and your telephone number, email on a piece of paper, you give it to this person. When the person goes to say, hi, I met you at the airport in Namibia. I hope you arrived safe. That's it. This person will get that interest. Next time I hear you have, like the lady over there, you are invited to Hong Kong to go and do your internship there because you were just so friendly and you volunteered.
That was the cricket video there, coming all the way from the Tourism Expo. And now we speak about, that is the MTB, and that is cycling, mountain biking in short. So it is indeed a very, very, very dangerous but fun event, especially as you can see Brian there, the guy's going over those loops there, and just there. What do you think of that?
You know, definitely it's a really good sport. A bit rocky, like you said, dangerous. You need to stay focused all the time, 24/7. You have to. Like I spoke to one of these athletes when we did the MTB a few weeks ago. I think they were talking about it takes precision. You know, you need to be focused because you might get into trouble by like you run into a stone and then boom,
Yes,
the race is done for you.
and you actually need a very expensive
bike.
You can't just ride on any bike. I tell you,
You
that
know, we
it
are
won't
used
work.
to those Challenger, those funny bikes. But
Yes.
here, you need a bike that's made for endurance. You need a bike that's made for this situation. A light bike, it can be heavy also. So it's actually a lot of stuff.
No, it's a lot of stuff, and these guys really take care of their bikes as if they're taking care of animals and all. So, so indeed, that's why MTB cycling is always a good sport, and Namibia has been doing well in terms of that as well. And now, we did have a fun day, and this was here where we are broadcasting from. That is the Independence Stadium. In your view there, well, it didn't look so empty on that track because it was full of action, in eventful drama.
Definitely, Jesse, definitely. It didn't look like it's looking now. It was a very, very exciting weekend over at the NSSU. We had the athletics that took place. Beautiful people showing up in numbers. You can see the athletes getting ready for the 1,500 kilometers as they are running through the definitely really tough challenge. The sun wasn't being kind as well, but it was definitely a good day.
No, the sun was indeed not really kind because it gave those athletes a tough and torrid time. Many of them really not finishing and struggling. But there was indeed some great running from teams like from the Omusati region. As you can see there, it was not as easy as it looks there. But Omusati region tried as much as they could to hold the fort. But Ohangwena region came in the end and won that one there. As you can see, finishing in style there with a time of 5 hours and 27 seconds. And if you look at the guys there, really pushing forward. And like I said, it was not easy on that track. And you can see how they went on here, doing their best, and the boy falling over there, as it happens most of the times there. And this guy took the lead there and thought he was going to win it, but he was unfortunately overtaken by the rest of the team that came through. And we had the man with long legs, that is Nyambe, who came through there to finish and win that one. As you can see there, very difficult, but it's about passion, and sometimes passion takes you there. And the women's there, the girls, I mean, trying their best there. You can see that athlete went on. Unfortunately, her start sprint was not going to do her any favors because it came down, as the 1,500 meters is always a very difficult and tough lap to do. So she tried her best. Unfortunately, she fell behind. But what impressed me there was the team from the Omusati region, a triple there, orchestrating a beautiful technique in order to finish, and they finished gold, silver, and bronze in, that is the 1,500 meter of that category. I uploaded that to the coaching that has been coaching that, and if you look at the guys there, the man Isaacs, who went on, but it was this guy that really pushed it to the limit. It was this guy that did a great job going forward, running unopposed and not even tracked.
Okay, well, Jason, we have an interview here with one of the starters, so please do stay tuned for that.
Good day, everyone. I'm Jeanette Hiergaard, and I'm here with Mr. Petty van der Kool, who has been a starter for 25 years. Is that correct? What is your expectations for this year's NSSU?
Since the NSSU is now under new administration, we would like them to improve on certain things and to give more training in developing the athletes, especially the youth of our country. We want them to really to look into some matters like programs to be invented, especially in the northern area of the country, to develop the athletics in that area. That's what I want for them to do. Yeah.
Okay, now being a starter for 25 years, how has this prepared you for every athletic event that you probably do? What do you need to be a starter?
Yeah, to be a starter, you have to have a lot of attributes. Like, first of all, you have to be consequent, you have to be patient, you should love the sport, love the athletes, know your rules, be on time, and do your work as they request or required from you. Not just to come here for to be on the map, but really to be in with your whole heart and your whole soul. And especially me doing these things for 25 years, that's why I'm doing it for such a long time. Because I love the sport and I like to invest in athletes and in sport as such in our country. Yeah.
And when you're not here on the field, being a starter, what else does your job entail with the organization and being a part of the athletics teams?
I used to communicate with the committee and the people that arrange the events before time to inform them about how many times we're going to have some, and to give me the correct equipment, to test your equipment, not to delay the programs by checking all things before time, and to know my starting team and to give them information as well as my other points like the timekeepers. I need to communicate with them and how we operate and not to do the things unprofessionally, but really to save some time because this thing is a time event. And if they don't know what they are doing on their points, as place judges, they are supposed to be on time to communicate and to react fast. And that is the point where I come early, I communicate with them with whom I'm going to work, so they can have a short meeting with them prior to the events. Yeah, always like that, yeah.
And as do you have actually anyone that you're training to take up your role one day?
My dear, currently there are a lot of people coming to me, they want to be starters, but when I tell them what attributes you should have, what you should do, then they just disappear. Because they think from a distance it's easy to do the starting job. But when I'm telling them what they need to do and need to know, then they just vanish. So I'm training some people on the track, but when it comes to the admin part, they just vanish. They don't like to study. But they are now up to for a training course now, which they invited me to do, but you don't know when. We'll still communicate with the officials and to get the venue and the time to train younger starters. Many of them they want to be a starter, but as I said to you, they are not that strong. They just want to be, but if it comes to the reality, then they just, they vanish or they withdraw themselves. But we are trying to get some people. Last weekend I trained 3 of them, which they were very happy of me doing that, and I thought of them. I think they will go far. 3 of them, last weekend. Yeah.
So we have all 14 regions here today. Do you have any expectations of how the athletics are going to turn out? Do you think it's going to be better than the previous years? From your experience, does the athletic capabilities of the athletes improve every single year?
At the moment, as I noticed in the beginning of this conversation, is that we are now under new admin and we don't know what they have in mind. But what I see now, the first event now was under the new admin, is not going that good. At the moment, we are struggling with transport matters, and some of the regions, the athletes, they are really uninformed, and they need to learn a lot of rules and regulations. But we hope that the new government, the new administration, the new chairman of the NSSU and those guys in the high positions will look into the difficulties here and the shortcomings. But as today and yesterday, it was not that good, the start of under the new management. We hope they will learn a lot and they will improve to better competitions. Yes.
There you guys have it from Mr. Petty van der Kolf. Please stay tuned for all the NSSU athletics and all the events that we'll be bringing to you live. Thank you very much. So, Mr. John Ricora, you are here from Rundu with your athletes. How many athletes did you bring here today?
Yeah, we brought along 34 athletes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and what are your expectations? How are they going to do? Are you confident that they'll do well?
Yeah, I'm confident enough that I have hope and trust in my athletes. They will perform better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was everything coming here? Was your travel safe?
Yeah, we traveled very safe apart from the challenge that we traveled in the night. Nevertheless, God was with us. We arrived safely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the athletes, what are the different items that they're taking part in today?
So all the athletes will take part all the events in exception of triple jump and hurdles.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did their training went? Can you just tell us a bit more about that?
So the trainings went well in the regions, though the athletes are coming from various schools.
Okay.
Yeah, but we managed to engage the sports officers at the schools, and then, yeah, the training went well.
Okay, and how did you get all of them together?
So telephonically, we normally communicate with them, and as a coach also, I normally travel there, and then we gather them together with the teachers.
All right, and any challenges that you guys faced?
The only challenges that we normally face is financial problem constraints, or we go to the various offices to assist us financially.
Yeah.
We are unable to be sorted out.
Okay, is that a yearly problem?
It's a yearly program, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. John, and all the best with your athletes today.
Thank you very much, madam.
All right.
Dan maak je hoe?
Dan spring ik.
Met die rechtervoet?
Met de rechtervoet.
Oké.
Dan schiet ik mee uit.
Aha.
Dan ga ik oor.
Oh, dan gaan je oor.
Ja.
So, kijk, voor example, als je dit nog verkeerd krijgt, nee? Hoe crucial is het om zeker te maken dat je dit niet verkeerd niet? Want ik heb het nog gezien met die vorige meisjes. Ze hebben de foto gemaakt, toen was ingekregen. Zie je, so voor jou, hoe belangrijk is dit om zeker te maken dat jouw techniek is recht?
Het is baie belangrijk van hekjes. Je nodig techniek om dit recht te doen.
Om dit recht te doen.
Ja.
Oké, maar met je 200 wat je nog even hebt, hoe voel je je erin?
Baie. Ik heb het gedacht, ik zal niet eerst komen.
Ja, aangezien je moest nog niet zo goed
is. Ja, de techniek heeft die. Ja,
maar je is blij mee.
Ik ben baie blij.
Oké, wat heb je nog over vandaag?
Ik heb nog 200 meter.
200 hoor?
Ja.
Zal ik omgesteld naar die 200?
Ja.
Oké.
Maar dank je.
Nou.
And now we take you through this Sunday drop. It is in the important fixtures that we expect taking place. That is on Sunday. Although it is a public holiday, there are still matches taking place. And at 8 o'clock at Kommersdal Stadium, that is the FNB Women's Super League. It is Right Way Phoenix versus Ramblers Ladies. Unam Bokkies versus Namib Daughters at the Unam Stadium. That is at 10 o'clock. At 10:30, Kommersdal Stadium, Tura Magic Ladies on Gwediva Queens FC. On Maheke Queens FC versus Eros Ladies. That is also at the Legare Stadium in Gobabis. And then at the NFA Technical Center at 2 o'clock, that's Girls and Goals versus Okahanja FC. Komas Nampol FC versus Beauties FC. That is at 16:30. And we do have some Capricorn Women's Quadrangular T20 matches also taking place there. And the big one that we all expect is Namibia versus Uganda. That is on the 1st of May.
Well, Jesse, all in all, a beautiful weekend of sports, fun weekend, some records being broken in the NSSU Athletics. And all in all, we had a good one here in studio. But from me and Jesse Jackson, Kauraisa, it is goodbye.
Yes.